Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. It's Saturday, and we're in off-season mode. There's a lot of games off in a row, a lot of days off. So we're going to go ahead and do a Saturday Share the Love Club today for Jose Calderon. Yeah, I've been lamenting that I don't pay enough attention to Jose in the last couple weeks, and seeing him on the Open Gym episode recently made me think, all right, now's the time to celebrate a great Raptors legend, somebody who played for our team for 8 years and is among the league leaders. I mean, not the league leaders, the team all-time leaders on a lot of statistical categories. So yeah, Jose doesn't get his due. In some ways, we talk about Vince, we talk about Chris Bosh, we talk about Fred and Kawhi and Pascal and all these other people, but Jose is somebody that just has gotten kind of like, he's just not a very braggadocio kind of guy. He's just a very humble guy. He just kind of does things the way he does. And in some ways, he gets overlooked. I'm not going to lie. That's part of it. I mean, part of it is that Jose played for so many different teams by the end of his career, but he really is, for the NBA, a Raptor, because the meat of his whole entire NBA career was in our jersey up here in Toronto. One of the best things Rob Babcock did as a GM of the Raptors, he did a lot of bad things. The one maybe the best thing he did was to get Jose Calderon and sign him as a free agent in 2005. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Like, Rob Babcock's the one who brought Jose to our team. And in some ways, that was a good little spark for foreign international players coming to our team and playing on our team. Jose was one of the first around that time that showed up. And as we saw in Open Gym, he was the one responsible for bringing his fellow countryman Jorge Garboza to the team. And as I said in recent days, Jose Calderon had a key factor in helping with the Marc Gasol trade and getting Marc acclimated and being okay with being in Toronto. He knew a lot about Toronto from his good friend Jose from the Spanish national team. That Marc Gasol had an easier time coming to Toronto and doing what he did because of the guidance and the help of Jose Calderon. So yeah, Jose's awesome, man. He's just such a humble dude. You could tell he's just like one of those guys that's just like, he'd give you this shirt off his back. He's that kind of guy. But I'm going to talk about some fun facts about Jose real quick. Did you guys know that Jose Calderon had one of the highest free throw percentages for an NBA player ever in the history of the NBA? 1 year, he shot 92% from the field. He had very, very limited misses. And it is in the history books, the NBA, as one of the top ever free throw percentages for a whole entire NBA season ever. So he is really one of the greatest free throw shooters in the history of the NBA. There was a period of time, I remember when he played for us, that he had a streak where he had not missed any free throws, and we were watching him, and he's like, oh man, I hope he doesn't miss a free throw. Oh, please don't miss a free throw. But yeah, he kept making them and making them and making them. It was awesome. Yeah, Jose's awesome, man. He has a lot of accolades. He played a long career before he even got the NBA. He started, of course, a lot of Europeans start their NBA careers very young and as a teenager, and he's one of those. He played like 7 years in Spain before he even came to the NBA as a rookie at 24 with the Raptors in 2005. So, he was like that. And once again, he was not drafted into this league. Rob Babcock signed him as a free agent. And honestly, some people say Jose is the greatest free agent signing in the history of the Raptors. In some ways, that's kind of true. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of true. Jose's 43 years old now. And he currently works for the Cavs, y'all. He's a special advisor for the Cavs. And so he is still involved in the NBA and officially working for the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, which is too bad in some ways. But it is what it is. It's one of the last teams he played for. And I guess he got ingratiated with that franchise and found a job afterwards. I mean, he went around after us. He was on the Pistons 2 different times, the Mavericks, the Knicks, the Lakers, the Hawks, and the Cavs. So he had quite a few different NBA teams that he played on. But as I said, he's on those Raptors from 2005 to 2013. So do you even remember Jose being on our team that long? This is just how non-self-promoting and how like I'm not putting myself in the forefront or anything kind of guy he was. He was on our team for 8 years, y'all. It's amazing. I mean, that alone, like I say, anybody who's been on the Raptors over 5 years, you are a badass. I love you. I love the longevity of long career Raptors. None of this Vince Carter bullshit where you're going to take off halfway through your career like that. No, 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 no. People like Kyle that got like 10 years almost. DeMar got like almost 10 years as a Raptor. That kind of stuff is impressive. And those are real Raptors to me. The ones that put in years and years of being on the Raptors, like Siakam. Siakam's another one. He was on the Raptors for a long, long, long time. Yeah. But yeah, Jose is known as one of the most efficient players to ever play in the NBA. He had one of these very famous split with his shots, the NBA's 50-40-90 club. He was 16 free throws shy of the NBA league minimum to be one of 8 players to get this feat in NBA history. That's shooting 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from free throw. And he would have been on that list, but he didn't get enough free throw attempts. It's the story of the Raptors' life. We don't get enough free throw attempts. In some ways, that's dirty of y'all referees. Now, Jose Calderon got robbed of being on a list because y'all didn't like calling fouls for the Raptors and putting us on the line. That's wrong. You could have given him 16 more free throw attempts throughout the whole entire 82 season. Come on, man. What are we all doing there? Come on now. Of course, one of the interesting things about Jose Calderon's tenure with the Raptors was he played at the same time as TJ Ford for a while. And TJ Ford was a very good caliber starting point guard, and there was some controversy. The Doug Smith and all them started to try and turn the pot. Churn it, and cause controversy, a point guard controversy on our team. TJ versus Jose, who should be starting for the Raptors. They were two very, very different flavors of ice cream, but they were both very good and both seriously starting point guards in the NBA. They both could start. In some ways, they switched them back and forth. There were different ways we used them. The great thing I found out, though, from the Open Gym episode recently with Jose and TJ appearing in it, is that they really enjoyed playing with each other. Even if there was a controversy, even if there was a little bit of like, yeah, it's you versus him for that position on the Raptors right now, these guys loved each other and they really enjoyed playing with each other. And they really did respect and honor the differences between the two of them as far as what made them great point guards in their own ways. And I like that. TJ saying that he's like, it was so fun to play with Jose and see him every night. It means a lot because at that time, a lot of people were trying to pit them against each other. And that Calder Ford period, it was a different time as far as like that was the positional battle. And that may have been one of the biggest, other than all the losing, that may have been one of the biggest controversies around the Raptors during that era of time before 2010. So, yeah, man, I love Jose so much, man. Like I said, he's just a guy who showed up, did his job, a real pro. A very caring individual, very, very, very caring. The amount of great Raptors that got to play games with him as a teammate is absolutely insane. He did get to play with Vince a lot in his career. Later on, though, when he was on Dallas, he got to be on the team with him and Dirk Nowitzki. So, and then he played a lot with Chris Bosh, obviously, on the Raptors. In fact, that is the player that he played the most games with. You know how I do that on the trivia? I say, who has the most games as a teammate of Jose Calderon? And when you look at that, I'll do the reverse trivia today. We'll do that. We won't do the trivia. I won't ask you all the questions. But, yeah, all right, this is the guy who played the most games with Jose Calderon, was the guy who's the other center of attention in that latest Open Gym, Andrea Bargnani. They played 394 games together. As Raptors together, 394 games. In fact, Jose played with the Raptors for like over 500, almost 800 games, y'all. 500 games or 800 games or something. So Jose was a very, very much a Raptors representative who was in a lot of games for us. Chris Bosh was second on the list for most games played with Jose with 322. Bowie Graham, Anthony Parker, number 5, DeMar DeRozan. So DeMar did get his time with Jose on the team: Amir Johnson, Rasho Nesterovich, Chris Humphreys, Jason Capono, Ed Davis, Morris Peterson, Langston Galloway, TJ Ford, Jamario Moon, Jay Crowder, Sean Marion, Sonny Weems. It starts getting into other players from other places like Carmelo Anthony. But it's really interesting to see the players that he played with on the same team for his career. And the Raptors: Bargnani, Bosch, Parker, DeRozan, Johnson. And opponents, guess who he played the most against in his career? It kind of makes sense. Is, of course, a teammate of his who he played 70 games with also, was LeBron James. He played a lot of games against LeBron, but Vince Carter was his opponent the most in his career, 40 games against him in his entire career. So it's a really interesting place where Jose is in the history of the Raptors, as far as, in between Vince and DeMar and Kyle, and still getting to play as teammates and opponents against those same guys in a lot of different ways. Jose in his NBA career earned $85.7 million over his entire career. So I'm sure he's sitting real pretty and happy. In fact, Jose in recent years, he owns an organic pig farm. Did you guys know that he bought an organic pig farm? And that's something that he does these days now, is he's involved with organic pigs. He has a son, Manuel, who was born in 2010. So I guess his son is now 14. He's married to Anna. He's just a good dude. He's been named the Right to Play Athlete Ambassador. Right to Play is an athlete-driven international humanitarian organization that uses sports and play as a tool for the development of children and youth in the most disadvantaged areas of the world. And as part of that program, Calderon pledged $1,000 for every assist he recorded in a home game against the Bulls in 2007, and he ended up in that game with 14 assists. Jose, you're a badass. He had his career best free point shooting year, his last year with the Raptors, at 43%. He led the league actually in 3-point shooting that year. Man, I don't know what to say more about Jose Calderon right now. You guys, if you have any memories about Jose from when he played for the Raptors or any other time, you go ahead, put it in the comments. We're sharing love for the great Jose Calderon, Spanish basketball legend. In Spain, this guy is probably very much a hero, very much a celebrity, but he probably don't act like it when he's walking around and being out in public and stuff. You came up to him, he probably just act like he was just no airs, just a very, very nice, down-to-earth, grounded kind of individual. And I love that about him. In some ways, he's the kind of guy that can get away with walking around in public. Nobody will recognize him because he's not super, super tall. And in some ways, you may not instantly recognize him as being an NBA player. So, of course, Jose has most of his accolades with the Spanish national team, going to the Olympics a few times, winning 2 silvers and a bronze, and also a FIBA World Cup gold champion in 2006 in Japan, Eurobasket champion, and a couple silvers and a bronze also. So he's a very decorated FIBA player who, when he retired from the Spanish national team, they felt that impact. They really, really did. The Spanish national team has gone through some turnover in the last few years, of course, with the departure of the Gasol brothers and Ricky Rubio and Fernandez recently in the last cycle, and Jose before that. So, they were really a powerhouse, partly because of Calderon with the Gasols. Was part of the reason why the excellence of the Spanish national team for many, many years in the 2010s. Well, there you go. And memories of Jose. He has some interesting nicknames that I didn't realize he had. Let's see. I want to tell you all the nicknames here real quick. They called him Numero Ocho because he wore number 8, of course. And also, they like to call him Mr. Catering. I don't know why they call him Mr. Catering. Is it because he looks like a guy who works for a catering company that comes in, or is he just that guy who comes? It's because he caters to his teammates and sets them up with such beautiful dimes. Is that why you're calling him Mr. Catering? I don't know. That's a weird nickname to me, Mr. Catering. But that's on his Basketball Reference, just so y'all know. Mr. Catering. That's pretty good. Jose played 500 games in his total career, for the Raptors, 525 games. So you got to honor that, man. That's a lot of time on the court for the Toronto Raptors. So yeah, Jose, we love you, man. And we want to share the love for you right now. That's what we're doing this morning on the Saturday Share the Love Club. Legend and our 30th anniversary season. We're taking stock of the Bosch era, and we're sharing the love for Jose Calderon, not for Bosch. We're sharing it for you, Jose, because you're just like that. I hope you'll come up and make an appearance at the game and just wave to everybody and let us on a purple dinosaur jersey game. Just come up and say hey, and everybody can say applaud and shower you with love. Jose Calderon, that would be awesome. I think Jose's got one of those mascots that run around at the game. Sometimes they got Muggsy, they got JYD, they got Matt Bonner. I think Jose's got one of those too. That they made a mascot outfit of him that comes out. You know the ones I'm talking about. Yeah, they did a bunch of the players like Morris, people like that. All right, let's see what y'all are saying in the chat. We got to react to the 905 loss to the Delaware Bluecoats last night. Do the classic card, the Instagram stories, and any fun memories of sharing the love for Jose Calderon. Go ahead and please share them. Yeah, it's so cool to see him in the Open Gym episode recently, and that's why he's back at the forefront of talking about things on the Raptors channel right now. That's right. All right. Trevor's saying, even when things seem hopeless, life has a way of defying the odds, overcoming the obstacles, and coming back strong. So never give up, regardless of how hopeless things may seem. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's one of those things they say, right? It's weird because what life really does have a natural order. And in some ways, when there's imbalance, or things are not exactly right or true to what they should be, things get righted. Let's just put it that way. It'll be interesting to see what kind of natural things happen as far as things with the world in the next few years. Who knows? In some ways, I just want peace, love, harmony, happiness, togetherness, love, acceptance. I want people to stop like othering other people and getting mad at them and angry with them. I think people should start understanding that if you're really, really going to be mad at people, you got to be mad at the people that are hoarding the wealth at the top and starving people out at the bottom. I mean, that is, if you're going to really be like that, I mean, it's a crazy world and it's going in a weird direction. But like Trevor's saying, things work out in the end in certain ways naturally. And it may not be exactly an existential thing that's good for humans. It could be a very non-existential thing. Maybe we don't exist and it's worked out that way, but whatever's going to happen, the natural world will survive without us or with us. It's just our decision whether we want to participate in the future. It's up to us, humankind. And if we keep going the way we're going, we're not going to be participating in the future with this planet. Because this planet will live on without us, just like it did past the dinosaurs. And, well, we've got to get our act together and figure this out. Permaculture, baby. Let's go do it. Come on now. Yeah, Trevor's saying also Hawks and Bucks, NBA Cup at 4:30 p.m. And OKC and Rockets are at 8:30 p.m. Yeah, I saw the ref crews for the games. It's not bad. I mean, I'll announce them for you guys if you want real quick. The referee crews for the NBA Cup semifinals today. Atlanta and Milwaukee's got John Goble, Trey Maddox, and John Butler. And meanwhile, Houston and Oklahoma City's got James Capers Jr., Nick Bookert, and Ray Acosta. Those will be the refs for there. And in the replay center is Pat Frayer tonight. So, yeah, it seems like a pretty good, fair settings. I don't see Ed Malloy's name anywhere or Scott Foster. But yeah, that'll be fun to see. I'll make my predictions right now that I think the Bucks and the Thunder win, and they'll be in the finals against each other in the NBA Cup. It'll be Giannis versus SGA after today. We'll have to see. And is that game tomorrow? I think they go right into it and do it right away. So we'll have to see. NBA Cup's going to be finishing up soon. That's right. The Raptors 905 have one more game in their tip-off tournament tomorrow at noon. I think it's noon or 1. Right around then, they're going to play one more game against the Maine Celtics. And then that's the end of the beginning of the season, the first half of the season. They'll actually play 2 mystery games this week in Orlando. Those games will not count to the second round. They'll count as the NBA Cup games, fill-in games. And then they'll start the regular G League season at the end of December, just after Christmas. So that's kind of the schedule for them. They have 3 more games till they start the G League regular season. I do not know what the 2 fill-in games are yet. They have not figured them out, but they will announce that probably tomorrow And we'll have a couple of G League games to watch the 905 play in the next week. In Orlando, though, they're on the road. They'll be down there. What they do is they have all the G League teams down there, and the NBA teams send a lot of scouts and executives, and they watch all the G Leaguers to kind of scout. And that's kind of how maybe some two ways get picked up or people get scouted and found out about. So it's a big week for G League players to showcase their skills. And they want to be playing at top form to try and get to a big club and impress somebody. So that's what's going on. Trucker Kaz is here. Good morning, fam. Good morning to you, Kaz. Good to see you. Trevor's also saying Indiana beat the Sixers and Joel got hit in the face. Same spot when Pascal elbowed him. He left the game and never returned. Well, what I'm hearing is he got a sinus fracture or something like that. Yeah, he got smacked in the face. That man just came back. He got hurt again. Soft as a plushie. That's what I say in some ways. I mean, this is crazy, man. Let me go look at it again. I was just looking at this actually, and we'll see what they're saying exactly as far as per the 76ers, David Aldridge. Joel Embiid suffered a sinus fracture. In tonight's game, he will be further evaluated this weekend, and his status will be updated as appropriate. His sinus fracture. That sounds painful. That don't sound like fun at all. Ooh, well, it is what it is. Of course, we were playing the Sixers G League team last night, the Delaware Bluecoats, and it was a little bit of old Raptors haunting us last night. Jeff Doughton Jr. with a revenge game last night. Really went off on the 905 and kicked our butt really bad. We weren't even in the game at all the whole game. And it was embarrassing, to be honest. We're sitting there watching it. And Monique and Blake Murphy and I are going on about how bad this game is and how embarrassing it was. It was really embarrassing. They were losing by like 30. Really got blown out. The second quarter, they couldn't score worth of crap. And they got doubled up almost on their score. It was like at halftime, they were like having 40 points and the other team had like 65 already. So, yeah, it was pretty bad. And it was Jeffrey Doughton Jr. that was out there absolutely killing the 905 last night. Of course, they had the debut of Toronto's own AJ Lawson taking the court as a Raptors 905. And we did have some of the J-Rooks there too, which is embarrassing. Jamison Battle and Jamal Shed, both available coming straight from Miami to play for the 905 in Delaware last night, but alas, the effect was not there or evident. It was really bad, actually. I was wondering about maybe the back-to-back factor was tough on both of them because they did not look right last night. Neither one of them did anything really of substance to help the Raptors 905 try to win, and that sucks. In some ways, I'm worried about Jamal Shed right now. He's not playing at a very good quality right now, whether it's for the Raptors or on the 905. And, man, if you're in your head right now, Jamal, you need to get out of it and get back to work. I don't know. In some ways, I'm getting airs from you that you're not happy about the jumping between the G League and the NBA. Bro, get over yourself. You need to fix your team down on the G League. That is the best place you can show something for us for the future. And if you can't do that, if you can't run that team like a point guard and get guys involved and organize and be a leader down there, you won't be able to do it in the NBA. I know it's difficult. I know it's like herding kittens because these guys on the G League, they don't have the same goals. They kind of have goals for themselves, but you have to be like that. You have to find a way. And in some ways, the stuff I was seeing from Shed last night was too much of calling his own number and not getting other players involved. And it's too bad. I like Shed a lot, but your NBA career is going to be real short if you don't start figuring this out sooner than later, Jamal Shed. So really focus on finding your teammates and making good plays by passing, because don't be like Kennedy Chandler. Just because he's going crazy and calling his number over and over again, don't mean you need to, because that's what I saw a lot of last night in the game. Let's go ahead and look at that game a little bit. My number one star of the game is Canadian, Eugene Omoruyi. Omoruyi has been our best player the last week or so. He's just shooting a very high percentage, and he's just very active. He doesn't give up. He's running around all over the place. This is why I thought he would be a top candidate to take the two-way spot when DJ Carton got waived. That if we're going to go and look at the 905, he's the man who needs to get called up because he's just busting his butt and getting out there. Of course, he's a little short for his position, and in some ways that's hindered him from being a full-fledged NBA player. But, yeah, Eugene, 14 of 17 from the field last night. He was the only guy who really played very well. We had only 3 Raptors 905ers in double digits last night. That's how anemic our offense was. Nobody could score. 14 of 17 from the field for Eugene. He missed his only three. He made 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 turnovers, a minus 14 with 31 points in 33 minutes. Yeah, it was the Eugene show. In some ways, he was a bucket. There was some stuff that Shed was doing where he would look up court and find Eugene under the basket cherry picking, and they'd find him that way. And that was some of the best offense the 905 could garner, was rifling a pass up court, looking up court, and getting Eugene Omoruyi, who was underneath the basket, to just lay it in. And he's pretty good at finishing around the basket. He used the rim as protection, and he's very, very good at getting the defenders off of him and where he finishes. He's a very good finisher. So it is what it is. Eugene, my first star. Second star is the debut of AJ Lawson, another kid from the Toronto area who came in and played for us for the first time. He looked great. He was long and lanky, active on defense, very much attacking and very aggressive, playing his ass off, if not fitting with the team yet, because it seemed like he wasn't having the right chemistry with everybody yet in some ways. You know, this guy just killed us in a game for Long Island Nets, November the 22nd, and now he's wearing our jersey. There's got to be a little bit of disorientation as far as switching teams just so suddenly, and all of a sudden you're going to be in this place and playing against this team instead of where you thought you were going to be with Long Island Nets. But I'm sure AJ's very happy to be on Raptors organization right now. It's probably a dream of his. In 27 minutes, 7 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. So he was hitting a couple threes there. 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 turnovers, 21 points in 27 minutes with a minus 11. Yeah, he could have been better. I mean, I've seen him play way, way better against us. But yeah, 21 points in his debut without really knowing the playbook or acclimating himself completely to the 905 team. That's pretty good, honestly. In some ways, he was part of the reason why the team wasn't doing so well yesterday, because the communication and disconnection on defense was a little bad last night. The Delaware Bluecoats were very, very much scoring at will. We had no defense at all. In some ways, they were figuring out busting the seam to get through and get scores easy as they wanted to. And the Raptors 905 had no seal to stop these guys from scoring on them, which was too bad. My third star of the game didn't get double digits, but he shot perfect from the field in 8 minutes. Kevin Obanor came in as the last man to come into the game, and he was the third best player. That's the sign of things, because the rest of them were all really kind of bad. 3 for 3 from the field, 1 for 1 at the free throw line, 1 rebound, 1 foul, +1, 7 points in 8 minutes for Kevin Obanor. And part of the reason why I'm giving it to him is because he made all the shots, and also because he had a good points per minute thing. A lot of guys got a lot of minutes last night, and they didn't put no baskets in the bucket. And that's a problem. I'll go over those guys right now real quick. You know, Shamshay was okay. He was real close to getting the third star. He's an honorable mention. He was 4 of 8 from the field, 19 minutes. He missed his only 3-point attempt, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 8 points, a minus 11 in 19 minutes. Yeah, he was solid. He was out there active and doing stuff, but he's so green. And there's a lot of promise. The first play of the game, AJ Lawson got the ball to Shamshay, and Shamshay made the first basket of the game. So that was a good sign. I like seeing the brand new guy just show up and hit the guy we all want to see score right away. That's a way to get Raptors 905 fans on your side, AJ Lawson. Set up Alrish Shamshay for a basket right at the beginning of the game. But Shamshay's running the court real well. But there's so much he has to learn. Footwork, spacing, switches, what to look for. In some ways, he needs to become more aware of himself on offense and what he can do powerfully, and grow into those powers and do them, because there's so much opportunities missing around him on the court that he's just not picking up on yet, because he's so 18 and so young. I'm telling you, it's going to come down the road. It's just the kid is just so inexperienced. He just doesn't know what he's doing yet out there, guys. Jamison Battle had a very bad game. He was 0 for 3. All 3 were 3-point shots. He made 2 points at the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, a minus 20 in 23 minutes. Jamison only scored 2 points. Man, he can score better than that in the NBA. What's going on, Jamison? Was it really the back-to-back from Miami to Delaware that messed you up? maybe you guys weren't totally intending that you were going to be playing for the G League, and the Raptors said, no, we need you to go there and help them out and get more time because we're not playing again until Monday, and y'all need to get this time in. They could probably play tomorrow too and do another back-to-back between Maine Celtics and then the Chicago Bulls on Monday night. We'll have to see. And it's interesting because those two J rookies are definitely being sent to 905 more than Mobo and Walter. The Mobo and Walter are kind of on main squad rookies right now, and they're not getting as much 905 time down there because they're way more polished and they're fitting in some ways. But Shed and Battle, they need the 905 reps, especially Shed. I'm saying this over and over again. Shed, you got to have this time. Shed was really bad last night. Between Battle and Shed, who had 50 minutes of play time last night, they scored 4 points. 4 points in 50 minutes of court time. 4 points. And these two guys are supposed to be NBA players. That's what I'm saying. This was a problem. 1 for 8 for Shed. He's calling his number too often in cases. The Atlanta Giants and missed both his 3-point attempts. He got 2 offensive rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 3 turnovers, a -28, the worst plus-minus on the team last night. Jamal Shed with 2 points in 27 minutes. Yeah, that's just bad. Battle and Shed did not look good last night. In fact, this game last night for the two of them harkened back to around this time last year when Grady Dick was on 905 and he was not playing very well. And it looked like these games that he was playing in 905 were ruining his confidence. In some ways, that's what I'm worried about right now, Shed. How's your confidence right now? I'm not worried about Battle. Battle's a shooter. Battle has a quick memory that it forgets very easily. But Shed, I'm a little worried about you, man. Because in some ways, your confidence is something you need to get up and you need to play smart. And in some ways, I don't know exactly how to tell you what to do because this is not easy. I know the G League ecosystem is a selfish place. And a lot of these teammates are not out there to help you in the ways that you want to help yourself. I get it. But you've got to figure out how to manipulate the situation to get this right. And playing a Kennedy Chandler impersonation is not the way. Trust me. You're ahead of Kennedy Chandler. You're a starter. And in some ways, you're ahead of him in the hierarchy of things. Don't stoop to his level. Play the way you're supposed to play, which is winning ways like you did in Houston. As a teammate, a point guard, setting up your teammates. You got to love your teammates and set them up. In some ways, I'm worried about Shed being more in the fraternity of the Raptors proper and loving being around Jacoby and Scotty and RJ and all those guys and kind of looking down on his G League teammates and not bonding with them the same way. I'm pretty sure he is not bonded with the G League guys at all. And in some ways, Raptors rookies, if you're going to be down at G League hanging around with those guys, you need to get to know them too and become trusting and communicative with them. And I think this is the problem that Shed is cast assisting himself from the 905 regulars because he's a main Raptors guy too. You can't do this, Jamal. In fact, this doesn't look good as a point guard. You should be like Jose. That's what I'm going to say. On a Share the Love Club for Jose Calderon, Jamal Shed, you need to be more like Jose and take your teammates for who they are at either level and embrace them and ingratiate yourself to them. Because I can tell you're not gelling with the 905 players, Jamal Shed. And this is your test drive. This is your place to hone your craft. And these are the dudes that you need to help you to get better as a point guard in the NBA. But if you ain't going to bond with them, if you ain't going to feel like you're connected with them, you're fucked. I'm going to tell you that right now, Jamal Shed. So you better start bonding with your 905 teammates, my guy. Because if you don't, it could be curtains for your NBA career earlier than you think. And you could go talk to Marquise Noel. In some ways, Marquise Noel had a better connection to his 905 teammates last year and was doing way, way better job as a point guard. And I know you're a better point guard than Marquise, Jamal. So get it together, man. This is my warnings for you, man. Get it together. You need to bond with your 905 teammates just as much as your Raptors teammates. I'm telling you right now, Tyler Perry off the bench, only 3 points. Another anemic scoring game for him. 1 of 2 from the 3-point land. 1 rebound, 1 steal. -5 in 10 minutes with 3 points. Just made a 3-pointer. Evan Gilliard was pretty good for a little while there. It's 3 for 3, 12 minutes. Misses only 3-point attempt, 2 of 3 at the free throw line, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, a +12 though. The best plus-minus on the team with 8 points. Quincy Guerriere, really bad, 2 of 10 from the field, missed all 3 of his threes, 1 of 2 at the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, -21 with 6 points in 26 minutes. Yeah, Quincy had a bad game. Tyreek Key, 22 minutes, running around, doing nothing, 2 points, 1 for 2 from the field, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Yeah, too many guys with like 2 or 3 points in this game. So many guys that should have filled it up. They got 20 minutes on the court that only got like 1 basket. That is not a winning formula, 905. That is not a winning formula, and you're making Andrew Jones look bad. I'm telling you right now. Dylan Disu off the bench, not bad. 19 minutes, 4 of 8 from the field. He was similar to Shamshay. 1 for 4 from 3, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 9 points, a -3 in 19 minutes. Kennedy Chandler off the bench, 13 minutes, 3 of 7, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, a -10 with 10 points in 13 minutes. Yeah, Kennedy did fill it up a little bit for the 13 minutes who's out there. But yeah, assist to turnover ratio for the Raptors 905, 26 assists for them as a team, 20 turnovers as a team. So that's not a good assist to turnover ratio by those guys. The other thing about it was their 3-point shooting was horrendous. Horrendous. At halftime, they were 0 for 10 from the 3-point line. They had not made a single 3 in the first half. Really, really bad. Really, really bad. Really, really bad. And by the end of it, they didn't really come back and make a whole lot. They had 4 3-pointers out of 22 attempts, shooting 18% from 3. Absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. As I said on the other side, Jeff Doughton Jr., 12 for 14, 6 of 7 from 3, 1 of 4 at the free throw line. Didn't shoot well at the free throw line. 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, a +33 for Jeffrey Doughton Jr., 32 points in 30 minutes. Yeah, he killed us. And Patrick McCaw was out there too, adding a little bit with 5 points in the starting lineup also. They had Pete Nance, another one of the Nance brothers. The younger Nance brother is just acquired by the Delaware Bluecoats. He came out and made his debut for them. And then Justin Edwards, absolutely fantastic performance. 13 and 19 from the field, 6 of 11 from 3. Yeah, it was Doughton and Edwards, a 1-2 punch that really carried the Delaware Bluecoats to victory, and even their record 7-7 at the end of the tip-in tournament schedule. So yeah, that's the story right there. The Raptors 905 were never in this game. They started bad and they floundered the whole game offensively, and they had no defensive stop in any kind of way. So the Bluecoats just did what they wanted to, with Jeffrey Doughton leading the way. It's what it is. It is what it is. I'll do the box score a little bit more in just a sec. Yeah, it is what it is. Kaz is saying that, Trevor, it's karma for Joel injuring so many people in the past. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. Maybe that's part of what Trevor was talking about, the natural order of things working their way, evening out. Who knows? Maybe that is what it is. Andrew's saying, good morning, y'all. Hope everyone has a great weekend. There you go, Andrew. Good to see Raptor Freak Rookie of the Year, Andrew, in the house. Good to see you, Andrew. Hopefully you're having a fantastic weekend so far. It's just started. Let's see what's up. Kaz is saying, oh, I forgot about that, Lex. Jose is such a real one. 100%. Best assist to turnover ratio is what I always remembered. Just one of the most efficient players in the world ever. You know, Steve Nash was very known for being efficient, and Jose was a lot like Steve Nash. It's the kind of thing where the shooting percentages are high. The assisted turnovers are great, like you said. And, you know, he doesn't miss free throws. He's very, very measured and smart. And like, if he's passing it to somebody, is very successful usually, because he had silver platter. He knew how to get the ball to his teammates in a way that they knew they could handle it and be very successful, set them up for high probability of success. That's what a real good point guard does. And that's what I want from you, Jamal Shead. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he was amazing, man. Andrew's saying one of the greatest free throw shooters ever in the history of the NBA. Yes, for sure. Let's look at his career free throw percentage. Where is it? I got to find the right stat line. Here it is. His career free throw percentage for 14 years in the NBA is 87% from the free throw line. Yeah, he shot 1,060 free throw attempts, and he made 925 of them. So he only missed 135 free throws his whole entire 14-year career. So you think 135 free throws, 14 years, that's like less than 10 a year that he would miss. That's crazy, y'all. He'd only miss like less than 10 every single year that he played in the NBA. That is amazing, man. So good. Kaz is saying those Jose years is when I fell in love with basketball and the Raptors when I was a kid. Yeah, I mean, that was a fun team. that open gym episode recently really did kind of portray the fun European flavor of the team and how having so many European players, it just really kind of changed things. We had to do it because in some ways Vince ruined our team when he left with our reputation around the league. That's another reason why I hold a lot of grudge against Vince Carter, is because not only did he leave and hurt us, he really hurt our franchise for years after that and our reputation. And that's why I'm not so totally forgiving him. I'm okay with them putting that jersey number up there, but in some ways, he'll never, ever, ever be one of my favorite Raptor legends from the past. He never will be, because I remember the damage. And in some ways, Jose was one of those guys who came in and tried to take care of us in a very ugly time and just give us some respect. And the fact that he was so efficient and the way he did things, he did do that. He had that a factor. Some people would say, like, at that time, Bosch is our best player, but Jose's second best Raptor right now. Second best Raptor around that time, Jose Calderon. That's probably true. In a lot of the years, he was the second best Raptor next to Bosch, for sure. Let's see. Andrew's saying Jose Calderon was the first player I got a jersey of. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Share the love for Jose. He was like, he had to get that Ocho. He went and got the Ocho and rep that Jose around town. Yeah, which one was it? Which one was it, Andrew? Which one was it? It wasn't the camouflage one, I hope. Oh, it was that camouflage jersey. Oh, I hope it wasn't. Fiercely saying, good morning, Tim. Happy Saturday. Good morning to you, MJ. Dap to you, dapping in. Good to see MJ holding it down for us in Eastern Ottawa, in east of Ontario over there. Yeah, in the capital region of the Canada. That's right. Good to see you, Fiercely. Kaz is saying, I prefer the Hawks over the Bucks because I'm a big fan of Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels. But I agree with you that it will be Bucks versus OKC in the finals. I think that the Hawks getting past the Knicks was a shock to me. Some people are saying that Trae Young has finally figured out something in Atlanta all of a sudden. And that's part of the reason why they're doing so well right now, that in some ways his team is trusting him on a new level. And that's why they're excelling and gotten to this point where they are in the NBA Cup right now. Well, we'll have to see. The Milwaukee Bucks have a lot of powers. They got Chris Middleton back finally. And, they're a veteran team that's been together for a while. This is a Bucks team that's been together for like 5 or 6 years now. So there's a lot of veteran experience and know-how on how to do things. And when you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, that's a powerful, powerful weapon. So we'll have to see Giannis versus Trae Young today, this afternoon, NBA Cup action. Let's see who's going to get it and get to the next part of the NBA Cup Finals. That's right. It's going to be cool to see. We'll have to see. Kaz is saying revenge game for Doughton Jr. It truly was. It really, really was a revenge game for Jeffrey Doughton Jr. last night. He had a delayed revenge game against us because, of course, he went to Philadelphia with Nick pretty much at the same time. He came in for our training camp after Nick left. Darko saw him, and then he cut him, and then Nick immediately got him on the Sixers as a two-way, and he's been there for the last 2 years like that. He's a two-way for them. And one of the interesting things for the 905 Blue Coats game last night was that all six of the two-ways for both teams were available and playing last night. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not Mobley. They have Isaiah Mobley, Evan Mobley's brother, and he was in street clothes. But all three of our two-ways were playing, Shamshay, Lawson, and Battle. And then most of their two-ways were playing also. Jeffrey Doughton Jr. and Justin Edwards I think are the twos. Yeah, so that was pretty interesting. Yeah, Doughton's amazing. He's measured. He does what he does, and the reasons why I like him. In some ways, Doughton has some Jose Calderon in him. He was being very measured and efficient. Very, very measured and efficient. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Kareem's here. Good to see Kareem Thomas, our dunk champion, back in the chat. Yeah, I got this flag at the 905 game last Sunday in the gift shop at the 905 Paramount Fine Food Center. That's right. They had some stuff on discount. Really cool. Yeah, and I had to get the Vince logo, Toronto Raptors flag. And I got another flag. I got a 905 flag too. And a couple other goodies too. But Kareem, January the 18th, Valley Suns, mark it on your calendar. You're going to come meet me down there, and we're going to go to the game and sit at courtside. That's what I'm all about, man. I'm going to come back to Mississauga because I had such a good time. January the 18th, Valley Suns, 2 p.m. on a Sunday. Mark your calendar and don't schedule anything, Kareem. We're going to go to that game, you and me and a bunch of other people too. David will probably make it this time too, hopefully. So, yeah, we're going to go to that game. Naco the Nacho, you better be there too. We're going to go there. Raptor Freak family and crew will be strong. We're going down there. That's right. Slug Deezy's here. Good morning to Raptor Freak Slug Deezy. I predicted Carton getting cut because he's always injured. Yeah, remember you saying that, Slug Deezy, a couple of weeks ago. You're saying Carton keeps not being able to play. Well, he's going to get cut. And you were right. You were right. Exactly right. Yeah, I was worried about this too. You know, you don't want to get that label where it's like you just can't stay healthy. And I think it was really like the Raptors were like, all right, we're invested all this rehab time in him last season and this offseason, and he's close and he looks good. We're monitoring him. And then he did come back. He played for a little bit, but then he may have came back too soon is what they're saying. And he re-aggravated it. And now the timetable is all back on it. And the Raptors are like, we can't wait around for this any longer. In some ways, our 905 team is struggling very badly without their one of the two ways full. And this may have been part of the reason why they struggled last year too, is he wasn't available for a lot of the time last year either, sitting on the injury list on a two-way spot. And it's just, in some ways, we can't waste our time on that. I'm sorry, Ron Harper Jr. I'm sorry, Marquise Noel. I'm sorry, DJ Carton. Injuries rob people of stuff all the time. And that's why it's so important to take care of yourself and stay as healthy as possible. I know you can't totally control this kind of stuff, but this is just how it is. And yes, Slug Deezy saw it. I saw it. Monique saw it. And we were worried about this. In fact, on Sunday, when we went to the 905 game, Monique said it to me. She said, DJ's just got to get healthy or he's going to get cut. Monique said that to me in my face on Sunday, and boom, it happened. It happened a couple days later that he did get cut, and Slug Deezy had said it too. I saw it. Guys are saying, nice to see you, Kareem. Yeah, I'm really happy to see Kareem back in the chat. We missed you, my guy. This stream's not as funny without you around, KT. I just got to say that. It's just not that as funny, man. Let's see. Slug saying Lawson was decent. Yeah, he was okay for not really knowing who he's playing with. The system, very new. He did okay, but he did. I do think that him being in the starting lineup and him being out there so much and them trying to look at him and get him going kind of did hurt the team overall. It's kind of like they did smoothly transition him in there. They threw him right in there. And in some ways, the effect was that there was not connecting really good, especially, like I said, with Shed. I was like, what's going on with Shed, man? You really, really got to figure this out, Jamal. In some ways, I know you had it maybe like good with Sampson at Houston and the way y'all used to win there, and you're not used to losing so much. And in some ways, you're losing more than you've ever felt. In fact, Jose talked about this on the Open Gym, is that like he came from Spain where he was winning championships and his winning percentage was like 800. He was winning 8 out of 10 games. And then he came to the Raptors and he lost like the first 10 games he played for the Raptors. And that was weird to him because he hadn't felt the losing before. So there's a lot of humble lessons in the NBA. When you're playing for certain teams, you're not going to be on the very best team every time. You're going to be on different levels of where they're performing. And that's the lesson that Shed has to go through right now, is you can't expect to win like you did when you were in Houston with Kelvin Sampson. You've got to expect the L's in some ways, and you got to balance them and learn from them and go from there and not get discouraged. And that's what I'm worried. If I'm worried about anybody getting discouraged on the Raptors right now, it's Jamal Shed. And in some ways, it's because of the two different things that are happening on the two levels for him right now. You know, in some ways, he saw Jacoby Walter get healthy. He saw the return of Scotty Barnes. He saw the return of Kelly Olynyk. And he saw people getting bumped out of the lineup in the rotation. And one of them was him. It was him and Chris Boucher. And I don't know. In some ways, you got to let go of your ego. You got to do what you can with what they give you and make the best of it. And when you do the best you can with what they give you, it expands. But if you're going to be all weird and stuff like that, you got to watch out, Shed. I'm telling you right now. I'm warning Shed right now. You got to watch out. All right, let's see. Kareem saying, have you guys talked about the NBA ratings being down 8% this year and 48% from 2012? Every NBA game should be broadcast on local networks. Now people got to pay for subscriptions and download apps. You know, it's different in different markets. It's different in different markets. Obviously, the Suns' new owner has made it available on local TV, like you're saying, and that's a good thing. There's other teams in the league that are doing the same thing. I think the Mavericks are doing it too. You know, in some ways, the Raptors are a special case because we're nationwide and they are capturing a whole big audience across the country. And in some ways, they do it through Rogers and Bell and their cable systems and having to pay this much more. And then you have to get the premium channels to get every single Raptors game. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a mess. In some ways, it is what it is. Now, those ratings going down, and may be more indicative of things like the All-Star game being a farce, Maybe it's also partly that people don't like the style of this game anymore. It may be that they're losing more fans and they're gaining new fans because people are turned off by the sports betting. People are turned off by the over importance of the 3-point shot. People are turned off by the no defense being played for the most part. And the NBA is trying to catch them back by FIBA-izing the rules this year, allowing for more physicality. That is definitely better, the defense this year, than it was last year. But it may be too little too late. Their reputation's been squandered. People see the stupid shit about the All-Star game being such a farce. And then they understand that the game's quality is not as good. It used to be when you watch the NBA, you'd see people like Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, and them, and they were always doing things that you couldn't do. Like, oh, I can't do that. That's amazing. I wish I could do that. Well, sometimes we're seeing NBA games, they're so garbage. People are missing shots left and right. People are like, oh, I could do that. I'm that bad. That's what's problem is that these professionals aren't playing to a professional level, and people see it from the outside and say, well, they're not playing professionally. Why am I watching them? Why am I watching them? Yeah, there's some problems with this. In some ways, this is another story, just like anything. Greed will get you in trouble. Y'all being greedy in certain ways, you're going to turn people off. And it's not that some people are as loyal as I am towards the Raptors, where they will just shut the NBA completely out of their lives and walk away. I did that to the NFL a couple of years ago because of Colin Kaepernick, and I have not looked back. I have not watched any NFL since. So there's a lot of people get turned off with the NBA game. They just turn it off. And some of them will never, ever come back. So Adam Silver, David Stern built an amazing, attractive entertainment product that was growing and growing and growing. And since you've had it, you've made it go downhill, honestly. Seriously, because you could say that 2012 is down 48% since then. Well, that's right around when Adam Silver took over. That's right around right then. So in some ways, yeah, you may be making more money in some ways, but in some ways the future doesn't look bright because you're losing fans. Honestly, you're losing fans, and there's all kinds of different ways you're losing them. I can't just pinpoint one, but in some of the ways, some people understand the referees are scripted and they're doing crazy ass shit. And why would they watch this? They might as well just watch WWE because it's more interesting to watch that scripted than something that's trying to act like it's real, but it's scripted. There's a lot of different areas you got to clean things up, Adam Silver. I said the betting is a big, big problem. You think it's a good thing. It's going to draw people to it. Those aren't the right fans that you don't want. You want more betting fans? You want people that only watch the game for betting reasons? That's not a good fan base. That's not a good audience that's going to be sustainable. What happens when those people lose all their money? They don't want to watch anymore. What happens if they only watch because they gamble and that's it? They're not really fans of the players or the teams even. Yeah. You're not cultivating a fertile ground for future crops. Let's just put it that way. You're generating it just like a lot of people are doing in society right now with no future foresight for sustainability. And that's the problem right there. Boom goes the dynamite. Kareem saying at Kaz, thanks, man. First time a family member died in my family. I hate to hear that, man. Of course, condolences once again about the passing of your grandmother, man. Yeah, no, they can be tough. It hit hard, man. But you know what? She's in a better place, and hopefully there's no suffering anymore that maybe she had near the end or anything like that. You got to believe that things happen the way they're supposed to, and in some ways you got to cherish and remember all the great memories and times and in her honor is what I'm saying right there. That's right. David's saying at Kareem Thomas, it's because of the useless, goofy in-season tournament. Fuck the NBA. I don't know if it's the in-season tournament. I think it's a step in the right direction. I think it's more that we got so lax and cushy. In some ways, these guys are taking it for granted, not for earned. And in some ways, there's a lot of guaranteed money in the NBA. Ben Simmons is a symbol of this. And, that mentality will screw you up. There's not enough players that look at the league like DeMar DeRozan. As far as, I want to be the best version of me. I have a duty. I get paid this amount of money. Then I'm going to make myself better and better and better. Some guys show up in the league and they just coast. And they're like, yeah, I'm here. I got my millions of dollars. I'm good. And, they're not trying, Zion Williamson. So it's like, that's part of the problem is the mentality is soft. It is a softer league. The guys who tried to make the league when Bird and Magic were playing, they really earned it and they really honored it. And they really, really went about it in a very professional way in certain ways. The guys nowadays, in some ways, they're like glorified kids and Twitch streamers. I'm sorry, Scott, but it's just true that in some ways it's not as serious as it used to be. There's too friendly. It's too much a fraternity across the NBA and not so much a competition between teams like Lakers versus Celtics in the 80s. And in some ways, that's hurt the league too, is the buddy system of Vince Carter, LeBron James, and all them in the early 2000s. Well, this is what you get to when you have this kind of stuff going on. I'm just saying there's a lot of different areas where the NBA screwed up, and they could fix it in certain ways, but it's not so easy because it's the way it is the way it is right now. So it is. It's tough. It's very, very tough. Let's see. Smooth saying at Kareem, death of a loved one, the pain never goes away, but take solace in the memories. Know she's in a better world. There you go. Smooth. Thank you, Reggie, for your words. Yeah. I mean, it's never easy. It's never easy. It's just a fact of life that there's death. And, sometimes we, especially when we're younger, we feel like we're invincible. We don't really think about that we're biological entities that pass away just like plants, insects, animals. In some ways, if you could respect the basic essence of life and all living things, you really will get to know your humanity and just how immortal we are. We're not immortal. We're not Superman. We're not invincible. And someday our time will come too. So that's what I'm saying. In some ways, respect natural biology and life, that we're living organisms and we all have a certain time, just like the trees in the yard, just like the birds and the squirrels. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. It's always been that way. That's right. Let's see. Cass saying, all love. I have prayers up there for you. There you go. I love to see the RFF showing support for a great Raptor freak and Kareem Thomas. He's one of the best. He's the MVP in some ways. Let's see. Smooth saying there's increasing chatter that the Warriors are going to make a concerted push to trade for LeBron James. Oh, okay. I know that Steph and LeBron really enjoyed playing together at the Olympics this summer. And in some ways, they really intimated that this is something that they wanted. But I don't know if this is the right time still. I don't know if this is the right thing. The Warriors are actually doing pretty good this year, surprisingly. I guess the change of Clay out for Buddy Hield has been actually a really fruitful thing. It's weird. I say go ahead and do it, Warriors. I want to see y'all become a dumpster fire because that's what happens when you add LeBron. You're going to trade for LeBron and Bronny because they want to honor the package father-son deal that we'll see what the Warriors have to give up, and when they get them, they could totally crash their whole entire season just because they covet this idea of having LeBron play with Steph Curry right at the end of his career. I hope they do it. I really do. In some ways, it'll be good for the Lakers franchise. And in some ways, it'll be exactly what the Warriors should get for what they get if they really want to do this. You go ahead. You go ahead, Steve Kerr, and you do this and watch what happens by the end of the year. Yeah. I didn't think that you guys were that serious of a championship contender, but you're definitely not if you get LeBron. And people would tell me, you're crazy. You can put a team with Steph and LeBron in there? How old are those motherfuckers? Come on now. How old are they? And LeBron just wants healthy help? Well, you should have showed up when Kevin did and collected those healthy help extra championships when Durant was doing it in Golden State. You're a little late, LeBron. You're a little like, oh, he was playing against you when that happened. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this is silly. Go ahead and do it. I laugh if this happens. If LeBron James gets traded to Golden State, I will laugh about it. Kareem saying now NFL took over Christmas, and apparently Mariah Carey teamed up with Netflix and singing before the KC and Pittsburgh game, and Beyonce is singing at halftime of the Houston game. NBA needs to catch up. Yeah, I mean, we're not really in competition with the NFL, but we are, but not really. I mean, there's certain holidays that are designated for certain sports. Like Thanksgiving is obviously the NFL's day. That very much showed that recently. And the NBA, let's not get it twisted. They may put NFL games on Christmas, but the NBA rules Christmas Day. They make their whole entire schedule around Christmas Day. They start with those games and put them in the schedule and build it out from the Christmas Day games. That's what they said. So I don't know. I think that in some ways the NBA is just having their own problems on their own, and it's not that they're in competition with anybody. The product has gone downhill and people are sick of it. And people see like the prices of tickets for games. People see things like what you were saying about having to get this cable package and pay this much on cable just to get the games on TV. Yeah, it's messed up. Meanwhile, like here in Toronto, you can watch the Leaf games on old regular TV for the most part on CBC. And that in some ways is kind of like privilege versus non-privilege. and kind of like gatekeeping for people that like basketball to ensconce hockey as being more accessible and easier to watch because it's on free TV and not on a paid cable channel like the Raptors are. In some ways, that's one of the ways on the down low Rogers and Bell has gatekeeped for hockey in Canada is by making it hard to access Raptor games through cable. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. Smooth saying Steph has expressed significant interest in having James on the team. Of course, they were around each other all summer. And in some ways, it felt good. It was fun. Maybe it's easy. It didn't feel like it was hard work in the Olympics. It's like, whatever. I mean, I could see this happening. Seriously, I could see this happening. There's a little bit of rumblings that the Lakers are sick of having LeBron around and that they're ready to move on from him finally. Finally. I mean, you got to figure this. You stub your toe on the same ottoman every time in the living room, you're going to move the ottoman. And, well, the Lakers keep stubbing their toe with LeBron over the last 5 years or so. And what they're doing, well, they're probably just sick of it, the circus and the sideshow. And they're like, yeah, maybe it is time to see what we can get for you before you're absolutely done with your career and you just retire and off the sunset. LeBron did say he wanted to finish his career as a Laker, but why is this tune changing all of a sudden? And why are the Lakers actually entertaining this at this point? It's weird. They did everything they wanted you wanted them to do, LeBron. They drafted your son. And why all of a sudden are you grumbling? Oh, I want to play with Steph. Okay. New shiny thing in my face, ADHD. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see what else. Kaz is saying, I agree with you. Although I think it's harder to build trust with those guys because they're bouncing back and forth so much. Yeah. Listen, Shed, you don't have to get along with every single one of them. You do need to make connections with them, kind of like Emmanuel is trying to make connections with Pirtle. Same thing with Davion with Pirtle, you with Pirtle. You got to figure out that connection. Is it going to be Omoruyi? Is it going to be Shamshay? In fact, it may be very smart for you to work exclusively with Shamshay. Because, listen, Jamal, you want to know how to get really good with the Raptors organization? Go and help Shamshay develop out there. Make Shamshay look good as his point guard. Set him up for post stuff and get Shamshay looking very good offensively because of your dishes. That will go so far. Make your three-pointers and set up Shamshay. Forget about the rest of those guys. Maybe set up Lawson too. Set up your guy Jamison, of course. But figure out those powerful weapons. Like Shamshay's really green and raw. But if you can show that you're helping to develop Shamshay a little faster, Shed, you have value, okay? Now, you got Jamison Battle, one of the best three-point shooters the Raptors have had in recent years. You need to get him going. You need to set him up. You're around him a lot. You're tethered with him, going back and forth between 905 and the main roster. So if there's anybody you need to bond heavily with, it's Jamison Battle, and you need to get him looking good with making a lot of threes and you getting a lot of assists. I'm just saying, man, your shot, when you get those open threes, you need to take them confidently and make them. Sure, you can go to the basket sometimes when there's an open lane, but don't run at 2 or 3 defenders and try and score over them. No, that's going to look bad. You want to do a drive and kick? Sure, but make sure you're passing it accurately to Jamison or somebody else on the outside so they'll make their three. This is just simple stuff in some ways, but it isn't. It's hard. It's a very hard level, professional level, and it's easier said than done. I know that. But I'm just saying, Jamal, if you really want a playbook to get there, and I know maybe I'm saying stuff and you're like, yeah, you don't need to tell me this. I know all this, Raptors freak. Well, maybe it needs to be reiterated. Ulrich Shamshay is a project for the future, and he has a future on this Raptors team, and you want to have one too. Well, tie your wagon to him because in some ways, Pascal was tied his wagon to Fred. Pascal and Jakob and Norman and DeLon, they all tied their wagons together and said, we're in on this together. And maybe that was part of the reason why that 905 team did so well is because they were bouncing between and they all really kind of looked out for each other. They were a unit. So you need to make a unit of you and the J-Rooks and Ulrich. In some ways, it's hard because you're Ragmatag. And in some ways, don't look because Walter and Mobo are still with the big club and you got sent down and they're not with you. And feel like, oh, woe is me. Why am I not good enough to not get set down like Jacoby Walter and Jonathan Mobo? Well, maybe because they are needed on the big level in certain ways, and don't question the organization. Just do what you're asked and do where you're asked to go to. That's what I'm saying. If I was him, I would be trying to be the best friend of Ulrich Shamshay and Jamison Battle. What do you need to get your three-point shot open and shooting? I will try and help you set you up on that silver platter. That's what I'm saying right there. In some ways, right there. Kareem saying, thank Ahmad Rashad, aka Smooth Brown Man. Thank you, Ahmad Rashad. That's right. Smooth saying the Lakers are keeping quiet as to why LeBron is away from the team. Maybe he got pissed off and he said, you know what? I got you this job, JJ. Why are you cussing at me and yelling at me? Because there was a clip recently where JJ Redick was yelling at LeBron James saying, shoot the fucking ball. I don't know if anybody been yelling at LeBron like that as a coach in the years that he's played in the NBA. That's kind of crazy. He's his podcast partner. In some ways, LeBron, you wanted JJ, you're getting JJ. JJ is JJ. He's going JJ. And in some ways, he wants to shoot the fucking ball. You better listen to your coach. Oh, no. JJ told me to shoot the fucking ball. I thought it's not like that, JJ. Oh, what? LeBron, what are you doing? I'm taking my ball and going home. Screw you guys. I'm going home. I'm Eric Cartman. What the fuck is this shit? Seriously, is that what it is? Because I can only speculate that's what it is. Either that or is on the down low a little bit hurt or something just soured all of a sudden. Maybe it's like, you know what, Rob Pelinka, you always smelled. I hate you. I don't want to be on your team anymore. And Jeannie Buss, you can go fuck yourself. You know, is that what's going on behind the scenes right now in LA? And nobody will talk about it because, don't let that kind of press come out, Adam Silver, about the great LeBron James and how he's a prima donna and causing all kinds of problems for the Lakers right now. Oh, don't let that come out because that's not good press for the NBA because it'll show the forefront figurehead of the whole entire fucking league for the last 20 years is a fucking douchebag. I don't know. I don't know the truth about all this. I can only speculate. And in some ways, I think my speculation may be kind of correct right now, honestly. Kind of correct. David's saying he is shopping for a house in San Francisco. There you go. There you go. He's like, Rob, I do want to go play with Chef Curry. I like his spicy curry food. And I'm going to full house it with him, just like the twins, Olsen twins. Yeah, I'm looking for a house in San Francisco. Da, 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 da. Where's Uncle Joey? Where's Uncle Jesse? I'm coming, San Fran. Is that what's going on now? I'm bringing my son, Bronny. Do you know him? He's great. I want to see the Warriors give up a really good prospect just to get the James gang on. I want to see them give up something just like Paul George for SGA. I want to see that shit happen. Oh, my God. Please do that, Warriors, you idiots. You want to appease the great king? Well, let's go ahead and see you make the sacrifice. I want to see that shit. I want to see it. Kareem saying that 905 game last night was really turning me off. I couldn't watch it. In fact, at one point in the third quarter, Kareem said, you know what, y'all, I can't take this anymore. I'm going to go watch 90 Day Fiance with my wife. I'm like, holy shit, that is bad. Kareem is watching 905 game, and he'd much rather go watch really trashy reality TV with his wife than watch the beating that the 905 were taking last night. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I get it. In some ways, I stopped half watching. I was just kind of like keeping tabs on the score, but like playing a video game. Like, hey, you know what? They're going to half-ass it. Why should I full ass watch them play? I might as well just screw around, play my video game for a little bit and kind of vicariously keep track of the score. That's what happened in the second half to me. It's like you're going to watch 90 Day Fiance, and meanwhile, I'm playing my video game. I mean, that's just how it went, 905. You want us to pay attention, play better. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying Monique, I'm sure she stepped out a couple times as far as like not wanting to watch it anymore because it's just like she's very tough on them. Very, very tough. In fact, Monique, at one point during the stream last night, she goes to Blake because Blake's in there with us. It's a away game, and Blake Murphy's very informative of the Raptors show. He comes in and he talks to us. He's a really nice guy. I've really appreciated Blake being so open and talking to us during the games and giving us information. And Monique straight up asked Blake, Blake, what do you think of the job Luke Wynn is doing as the GM of the Raptors 905? Is he any good? Is like kind of what she asked. And Blake was like, Monique, it's a really tough job. It's so hard. In some ways, the things that are happening with him are not him. It's one of the Raptors' main front office that are making a lot of the decisions. And he kind of does like littler stuff. So he's a really good job explaining it all. But yeah, this is something I was wondering too. And I'm glad Monique asked him that. And Blake gave a pretty good answer as far as like, it's not really Luke Wynn's fault. In some ways, the G League is so tumultuous with change and guys getting scooped up in two ways and going this way, like Carlson, that, you know, it's really hard to kind of figure things out. Although if I was doing the job, I would be getting a certain player types. And seriously, Kennedy Chandler and Charlie Brown are not those playing types, is what I'm saying right now. Those are not them. No, it's not. Fiercely saying that, Kareem, sincere sympathies to your family. In reference to your question, the NBA product has significantly declined with horrible officiating and gambling ads. Why pay when you can view via free streaming? That's right. That's right. I don't even know. Like, I don't know how they gauge viewership or what is it? Is it that people are just not watching the traditional way? Is there maybe a lot of people watching it still? It's just that you just don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's what I'm wondering right now. All right. Before I get to the classic card and the Instagram stories, I want to go on the team stats for the box score of the 905 game last night. The Raptors actually shot 50%, 51% exact from the field, and they still got blown out by 30. How the hell do you do that? You shoot 50% from the field and you still get blown out. Well, it's because you don't shoot any threes. Then the other team shoots 21 threes and makes them, and you get only 4. Well, how many is that? That's 17 times 3. That's like 40 something points more for that other team because they made threes and we didn't. Right there. That we got more free throw attempts than them. So the Reds ain't hit jobbing us. 15 free throw attempts for us, 13 for them. We made 80% of our free throws. So it wasn't bad at the free throw line. The 3-point shot was disappeared, and there was a whole section of the game where they could not score. The second quarter, 46-27 was the score in that particular quarter where they outscored us by 19 points in that quarter. We actually were doing okay in the first quarter, but then we got screwed over in that second quarter. We let everything go. They scored 46 points on us in one quarter. That's crazy, man. We actually outscored them in the last quarter by 2, and we tied them in the third. But that deficit we made in the second quarter was just too much to come back from. We out-rebounded them 41-35, which is, we got more assists. They did have 14 steals, which is crazy. That's a lot of steals. And 21 turnovers for the Raptors 905 absolutely killed us. They did not let us get on the fast break. We dominated the points in the paint, 74 points in the paint to 42. Yet we still got blown out and blown away in a rout of 30 points. It's crazy. I look at that. We shot so well. We out-rebounded them. The 3-point shot was such a huge discrepancy between our 4 threes that we made in the second half, didn't make a single damn one in the first half, and their 21 threes they made throughout the whole entire game. I mean, in fact, Jeffrey Doughton Jr. had more threes than our whole entire team did last night. Jeff made 6 threes. We made 4 as a team. Justin Edwards made 6 threes. We made 4 as a team. So they had 2 guys that made together made 3 times the whole amount that the Raptors 905 made. Man, Andrew Jones has got to be pissed, man. I wouldn't want to be around this guy because this guy really cares. He gets angry. And I didn't see no post-game interviews. No, because I'm bet they try to come up to Andrew Jones. He's like, slap somebody in the face. I don't want to talk about this game. Seriously, because he's getting more and more mad. All right, let's do the classic card. No, let's do the Instagram first. We'll do the Instagram. We'll do the classic card afterwards. Chris Boucher made a very weird post last night. I don't like it. In some ways, he's showing that he may be discontented with being relegated out of the rotation and just being on the bench again. Because he said, you hang around long enough to try and be a hero, eventually you become a villain. I don't know what that means, Chris. And in some ways, that's ominous and cryptic. And if it's exactly what you're saying, what it sounds like with this team, well, I don't want you hanging around being a villain. We might as well trade you to Golden State so you can go play with LeBron. No, I don't want you to be no villain. In some ways, listen, I know you're you're the longest standing Raptor at this point. You're the last champion, but at this point, in some ways, I've given up on holding on to those ties when Freddie and Pascal and OG left. And in some ways, if it is time for you to go because you're going to get more time on another team and we can get a good trade package, I'm ready for this now. I wasn't ready for it last year, and I have not been ready for this at any point until now. But now that it's very evident and clear that in some ways, as much as we try to make it work in the last year, you do not fit Darko's offensive play style and what he wants to do. And we've tried. You're a great guy, but in some ways, I know it's frustrating for you. You had a great start this season. You did amazing things for us when injuries were happening. But now that people are coming back, you're the odd man out. And I don't want you grumbling. I don't want you wasting your life. You are getting NBA money. You are playing for your home country in Toronto. But, I mean, I get it. In some ways, you want to go play more while you still got the prime of your career and stuff like that. I get it. And maybe it is time for us to maybe shop around and see what we can get for Chris. I don't say that lightly. You know how much I like to hold on to people, especially Canadian players, especially champions for our team, especially longstanding guys like him. But in some ways, he is the last remnant of the old era. and maybe it is time to move on. I don't know. In some ways, it's not. I want to suck out, Chris. You always be a dearly loved Raptor alumni forever from now on. But in some ways, this may be good for you, and it may be what we need to do. I hate having to say that. He's saying, imagine you're arguing with me, and I proceed to just start doing the dance to your face. It's some animated guy, and he's doing some crazy dance. So it's like, you imagine coming and arguing with him, and he just starts dancing all crazy in your face. That's hilarious. That's pretty funny. But yeah, Chris has got all kinds of funny stuff. He's got like a scene from News Radio with Stephen Root, which says dating in 2024. And it's like Stephen Root's coming in. He's just saying, you're single. I'm single. I think we should get married. It's a great business venture. And the lady's like, you know what? You're right. I've been waiting for you to say that. And I think this is right, too. And she's like trying to say this is how dating is in the 2024, as far as like it's all worked out ahead of time. And it's like a business transaction instead of like a real falling in love kind of thing. It is what it is. Shamshay put on blast that Angolan BF, Bruno Fernando. That's right. He's got a repost to him. I'm sure Bruno's been, if anything, Bruno Fernando's been good on our team to help mentor and help Ulrich Shamshay by somebody who's from Africa who can identify with him. As far as like he's further down the road as an NBA pro, in some ways that kind of connection can be very helpful to a young guy just trying to get his legs under him in the NBA in a brand new world and country and continent. Bruno Fernando's probably been very, very helpful to Ulrich Shamshay is what I'm saying right now. Yeah, Davion, lots of clips of him with his prowess on defense. He's been doing fantastic things. Let's see, Jacoby Walter with a picture he's reposted from Bruno Fernando's Instagram also. There he is, another picture of Bruno posted of him and Bruno talking to each other. They look like they're getting along really well. There's Jacoby with that Kobe shirt on he's wearing coming into the Miami game the other day. And yeah, Jacoby, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing a good job. And don't take it for granted. Keep your faith in God and keep your belief and just keep doing things the right way because you're doing them the right way. Seriously, you really are. Yeah, let's see. 905 has stuff from last night. I don't even want to look at it, honestly. It was so bad. So bad that this game, the way that it was going, they couldn't make no threes, nothing. It's crazy. Emmanuel quickly saying this. Maybe you didn't notice your progress because you keep raising the bar. Interesting. Well, just get healthy and come back, IQ. We need you back out there. We need a point guard that can fill it up, and we know you can when you get back. That's right. Toronto Tempo is saying this right now, looking to tap into some basketball action. Canada's women's and men's 3-on-3 teams are both in action this weekend at FIBA 3-on-3 America. So, yeah, check out the ladies and the men's 3-versus-3 Canadian national teams. They're in action at America this weekend. That's what Toronto Tempo is putting on blast for you right there. Let's see. Is there anything else? There's Jamal Sheds. He's putting on blast Bruno Fernando, another guy. All these guys are putting on Bruno Fernando on blast right now. It's pretty interesting. DeMar DeRozan has a new Dinners with DeMar out. I think it's the first episode of the second season, and he's got his first female guest. It's Malika Andrews of ESPN, and she talks a lot about her own struggles with body image and social media and having everybody looking at her and kind of critiquing her and the mental strength that you have to take and battles you can have with being such a public persona and people able to say things on social media and, getting, hurt by those kind of things. So very, very interesting episode. I'm sure I haven't watched it yet, but I applaud DeMar once again for all his work that he does for mental health awareness. And it's really, really good that he had Malika on this episode to talk about it from a female perspective. Really, really, really good. Norman Powell, understanding the grind. Go get it before Christmas. That's what we're saying. Let's see. It's at Raptors Fan Day. Get in on the ultimate Raptors experience, February the 1st at noon in Scotiabank Arena. I'm not even sure what that is. Is it actually a game or is it just an event where they're going to have things where the fans can come down and hang out in the arena? That's on the second or first of February at noon at Scotiabank Arena. Get your tickets now for the ultimate Raptors experience is what they're calling it right now. So very interesting. There's Bruno's Instagram stories that everybody keeps reposting. He's like this. Everybody wants to post Bruno right now. I don't know why. What did he do? It's not his birthday. It's interesting. Let's see. Jay Nathan's got his Serious Players Only shoes on blast. It's nice white powder blue kind of design. Very, very cool. And this is what Grady said last night. Grady telling the Kansas Hoops fans that he's coming to Kansas today to watch the Jayhawks play against NC State in college basketball hoops. He's been wanting to get a chance to come and watch his alma mater, the Kansas Jayhawks, this year, and he's finally getting a chance because there's a couple days off. So he is traveling to Kansas, and he will be at the Kansas college basketball game today, guys. Just so y'all know, Rock Chalk Jayhawk is going home to watch his alma mater today. That's how he's choosing to have his day off. Scotty showing on Instagram that he's back in Toronto already. Did not wait around in Miami for the weekend. Came back to the cold, and he was down at Blur apparel shop, putting some clothing on blast at Blur View or Blur somewhere on Blur Street, somewhere downtown in Toronto. So there's the Instagram stories. The Raptors came back. Some of them are taking off and going to other places for today, but they'll be back in time to come back for Chicago on Monday. 3 days off. That's what they allow them to do. They say, oh, you want to go and watch the Kansas Jayhawks? Grady, go on then. Take Oshai with you if you want. Yeah, take them with you if you want. Smooth saying there's a lot of speculation in LA right now about it. It's quite the story, actually. Well, hey, that's cool. I'm not a Laker freak. I'm not a Warrior freak. I'm an NBA guy in some ways, but this is important. But yeah, I can only speculate this probably is true. And it probably may happen. Honestly, the NBA may want shakeup right now to make it a little more fresh. And putting LeBron James in a Golden State Warriors jersey all of a sudden, that makes things pretty fresh all of a sudden. Now, I don't know if that'll be successful. It sounds like Clippers, Kawhi, and Paul George kind of shit to me is what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like to me. That's right. Kareem saying LeBron wants to join Golden State to tarnish Steph Curry's legacy. You want a dunk? I'm going to give you a dunk for that one. That's funny, man. That's funny. He wants to go there to tarnish his legacy from the inside. I love that. All right, 5-pointer for you, Kareem. Welcome back to the stream. 488. 488 for a dunk champion. He is way beyond the dunks everybody else. Will he get to 500 before the end of the year? He's got 12 more dunks to get. And I want to see him have a 500 dunk year because the dunks roll over when the calendar does. So 488 dunks for the year of 2024. Will you get to 500, Kareem? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. You're getting close. We're getting closer. Let's see. Wayne saying, good morning, Raptor Freaks. Forgot the game last evening. Doesn't sound good. Calderon was solid and enjoyable to watch. My memory was that his defense was leaky. He and TJ were solid point guards. Yeah, he wasn't the fastest foot speed kind of guy, and that did limit him on defense at times. He was a defensive liability in some ways. That's actually very true, Wayne. But I like to think fondly of things and think the better of them. And in some ways, I didn't want to think about Jose's defense. Yeah, they were a fun little combo of point guards, TJ Ford and Jose Calderon. And for younger Raptors fans that you want to really get into the Raptors' history and understand their legacy, go watch some of these guys from their games then. And you'll understand what we're talking about. The efficiency of Jose Calderon, the leadership, fantastic. And then TJ Ford, just such a fast player, such an athlete. Such a quick little guy that was so entertaining to watch in his own way, too. Really, really entertaining. Yeah. Fiercely saying, Smooth, not sure the timing is right for LeBron to be traded as he's off for personal reasons. And some stipulate he may be involved on the Diddy tapes. People keep saying that he's on the Diddy tapes, and I'm wondering about that. No, I think that him being away from the team is more likely that he's got friction with the Lakers and that this is a trade demand and that he may be going there. And this is why this is all happening right now. We've got to remember that Clutch, Rich Paul, and LeBron have a whole media machine that dusts up storms and tries to do things like hype up Bronny before the draft to get him into the NBA. And it could very well be that LeBron's own people are putting out a lot of the media storm that's going on right now about speculation about him going to the Warriors because they're trying to make it happen. I could see this happening this way right now. So I don't think the timing's off. And in fact, ESPN has a list that's out this week listing all the players that are eligible to be traded. LeBron's name is on that list. So this very well could happen. Very, very well could happen. Andrew's saying the Jose jersey was just the OG white ones. Definitely not the camo. Okay, cool. So just a basic white jersey with the red lettering, the number 8, Raptors across the top. Very, very cool. With a little bit of chevron on the edges is the red chevron era. Yeah, very cool, Andrew. I love that. I love hearing about old jerseys. Let's see. Where's my old Keon Clark? It's somewhere around here. It's not here right now. I don't know where it is. Oh, there's my Scotty jersey. Scotty. Let's see. G's here. Good morning to G. I injured my wrist. nothing major. So keeping typing at minimum. Condolences to you, Kareem, and Jose is a real one. Gee, I hate to hear about that, man. I hate to hear that you hurt your wrist recently. So typing is a little bit of a chore, but you have checked in. My good friend, the Raptor Freak Trivia Champion #1, G, is in the house. And always good to have your presence here. Yeah, Jose is a real one. And in some ways, like, even though he's with the Cavs organization, I forgive him. I forgive him for that. I forgive him. Fiercely saying trading DeJounte Murray was a good decision for the Hawks. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that. Subtraction, addition by subtraction. Yeah, I get behind this. I've never really liked DeJounte Murray. I think that he's kind of a flake. I thought that, this is a true red flag when you hear this. The dude played for Popovich. Popovich is a really good coach, and he knows the between good players and knuckleheads. Well, Popovich didn't value him, and he was like, Spurs need to trade DeJounte Murray, and they did. And then how long was his tenure with the Hawks, y'all? Not very long. They decided they needed to trade him too, and now he's in the Pelicans. There's something wrong with DeJounte Murray. I think that his attitude or his personality is not a good one. And that, in some ways, him not being valued by the Spurs to be a part of what they're doing right now is very telling. And the fact that his tenure with the Hawks was so short, there's something wrong there. There's something wrong there. And in some ways, the Pelicans are just becoming the Big Easy's land of misfit toys, with Zion Williamson not ever playing. And now DeJounte Murray, a guy that nobody wants in some ways. Very interesting. Fiercely saying safe recovery at G for your wrist. That for sure, yeah. And just saying that flag is awesome. I know when I saw it, I was like, I got to get this, man. It's a big flag. And I was like, yeah, let's commemorate the 30th anniversary season with the 30th anniversary flag. Toronto Raptors, the Vince Carter logo, Dunk logo. Yeah, I thought it was a great purchase. Yeah, definitely. If y'all are going to go to the 905 games, go and check out their gift shop, man, because it's like this crazy thing is they had a bunch of stuff on clearance from last year, including some of their great specialty jerseys. Like they have the Underground Railroad train jersey for Black Heritage Month in February. And they had a Justice Winslow one for $200. And I was like, man, I want to buy this. But I'm like, this is crazy. Do you really need a Justice Winslow 905 jersey? The McCurr ones, they're all on clearance though. They're cheap. They had a couple jerseys that were just $100, and they were like player jerseys, real authentic ones. And yeah, they had shirts that were on sale. I got a shirt for $10. Where can you get that kind of stuff these days? At Real Sports down near the Raptors Arena? No, but go to Paramount Fine Food Center and go into their gift shop, and wow, you can find some real good Raptor deals. Very, very cool stuff in there. So I hope y'all will come on January the 18th to the Valley Suns versus the Raptors 905, 2 o'clock on a Sunday, and go to the gift shop with me and go watch the game with me. That's right. The next Raptor Freak Hangout is that date in January, right away on the 18th. I want y'all to come and go to the game with me, just like Monique and MK and Neil did recently. That was so fun last Sunday. I got to go again. Seriously, I'm jonesing to go again because it was so much fun. Yeah, let's see. Kareem saying, thanks, everyone on this channel. Once again, you guys are awesome. Fiercely and G, thanks again. No problem, man. We're here for you, Kareem. And, this in some ways, this is a support system for a lot of different people as far as like, some of you people just, we give a shit. We talk to each other almost every day on this channel. A lot of the regulars are here all the time. Even if you're not a regular, you come in every once in a while. We know who you are. We care about you. If you're Raptors fans like us, we're a community. In some ways, these are the kind of ties that bind society that we need to keep intact because there's so many forces trying to pull us apart. And yeah, people are getting pulled apart from us, and it sucks. And in some ways, this is family, man. Raptor Freak family for real. That's for real, RFF. And when people are in trouble or they're going through stuff, we're here for you, man. We care about you, Kareem. And, you could call me on the phone privately if you ever needed to. There's Raptor Freaks that call me on the phone sometimes if they need me just because they're in a bad place. And so just so know that, man. Seriously, I know that you and I have this similar thing with our past. And in some ways, it's important for that fellowship to be there for each other. And I'm there for you in that way also, just so you know. Let's see. Smith saying at Fiercey, I've heard that as well. Respectfully, that's coming from right-wing zealots. LeBron would not be in any of those disgusting, vile allegations. It doesn't really fit his family life and in the way he's carried himself. I mean, listen, LeBron James, out of everybody in this world, could have a groupie harem lifestyle easily. You know he could, but he doesn't. You know he doesn't in a lot of ways. And the way that he is with Savannah is very much a real nuclear family, and that he takes this seriously. In some ways, he's real for this. I may think that LeBron's kind of this and this and this about the way he plays in the league, and he's whiny and all this stuff. But the one thing I truly respect is the way he is with his family. That he honestly, he has not had any scandals. And if this is the scandal they're trying to drum up to get him and mess him up, well, that's messed up. He could have been around P. Diddy and some of this stuff, but I would like to think that he did not engage in any of this kind of stuff. And yes, what Smooth is saying is true. There's a lot of like right-wing bullshit that's going around trying to just tear down people. As much LeBron James endorsed Kamala Harris. LeBron James has been very disappointed in the election outcome. So why couldn't there be reprisal with bad press from right-wing think tank forces that are out there just trying to screw with people that aren't for them? And I could very much see this. The Kobe Bryant scandal in Colorado was way overblown in some ways, partly because it was Kobe. And, maybe Kobe did do something wrong in that whole situation, but he's not a normal person because he's so well known, and they're really going to run with it. Tiger Woods. Yeah, you can look at these situations and understand these people are human too, and they're going to make mistakes. And some of the stuff they do is not very wholesome, trust me. But also at the same time, because they're at the pinnacle and they're such a prominent person, some people want to tear them down and destroy them. And, I would like to think that, it's not because of color. You could look at Kobe Bryant and Ben Roethlisberger right around the same time. Very similar stories. And does Ben Roethlisberger, well, where has he gone? I don't hear about him at all anymore. And sadly, we know about what's happened with Kobe. But I'm just saying, in some ways, and then you look at Tiger Woods and look at his redemptive path of coming back to injuries and being a pro again. And kind of a lot of the stuff that happened with him and his family is washed under the bridge and gone away. And he's more solidified and okay with his standing in the sports world once again. I think that the Kobe accident that happened was so tragic and awful. A lot of people don't want to even think about that chapter of his life that happened in Colorado that was so put on blast. But yeah, there are headhunters. There are people out there that are looking to take down big game targets as far as people like Kobe Bryant, Tiger Woods, and LeBron James. But I think LeBron is fine. I get the feeling and the vibes that there's nothing on this guy. And Smooth is exactly right. That he's a family guy. I mean, there's a certain way that LeBron is, because if he was another way, he'd be a totally different kind of person with his mentality and attitude and the way he carries himself. And he's not like that. He's like a big kid. And in some ways, he's not a philanderer. He's not somebody out there, like Bronny and Bryce and Savannah and his daughter. They look like a very happy, put together, very tight family. And you see it on social media all the time. You do. Yeah. Prayers. That's right. Would not be involved. Yeah. He may have been at some of those parties, but he may have pieced out as soon as he saw some fucked up shit, is what I would say right there. That's probably what most likely right there. Yeah. Trevor's saying, everyone have a great day. I have to go and help out my people who work in the food truck. Lots of festivals this weekend from Fort Lauderdale all the way down to Miami. This weekend, very busy. Yeah. Some people were saying, why aren't there no people at the Delaware Bluecoats game against the 905? Because it's a Friday night close to Christmas. And this is prime time for holiday parties, Christmas shopping, going to movies. Everybody has a life. And no wonder nobody's in like some sort of weird gym that the Delaware Bluecoats play something in. Of course, nobody's there. Of course, nobody's there. They got lives. They got lives. That's what it is right there. That's right. Kaz is peace out, Trevor. And David's saying LeBron did what he had to do to get his son a job. He doesn't give a flying fuck about staying in LA. David's always got to add something in there. So a little extra spice. He doesn't give a flying fuck about staying in LA. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, I get that. LeBron's never been that loyal in some ways. I mean, Cleveland is his hometown. He shat on them twice. Even when he left Miami, it was kind of like a dubious, when he leaves LA, it'll be the same thing. And there'll be bronze sexuals that absolutely love and praise him no matter what, no matter where he goes. But there will be a segment of the Lakers nation that will turn on him when he leaves LA. Watch. And they'll be saying all kinds of crazy, stupid shit. They'll be the same ones who talked him up for years too. Yeah. Fiercely saying, enjoy Trevor J and Smooth. Eventually, we'll know what LeBron's motive for being out was, but him going to Golden State will ruin things. Not saying he's the same level as Chris, but it didn't work for Chris Paul. Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree with what you're saying. His motive for being out is I think he's in disagreement with the Lakers and he's had enough of their shit. I think that in some ways they just can't make things work and they've tried so much. It's like, how many times can you fail in the same place with the same kind of problems over and over again and kind of get frustrated and be like, throw your hands up. They were supposed to do way better this year, partly because, well, LeBron handpicked the coach and his son's on the team and the media machine and the NBA is supposed to help them out. Well, they're not good enough to, even with the help that they're going to get to be a top team. So they suck. They suck. Whether it's Davis and him playing really well, but then getting hurt every once in a while and not disappearing. And maybe the overall talent of the whole entire Lakers isn't good enough to compete with most of the teams in the West. There's a lot of different issues there with LA. And LeBron maybe see the clock ticking. I think that his absence has to do with this, Fiercey. He has a problem with the Lakers right now, and he's forcing a trade. That's what it is. And I hope he does go to Golden State for exactly the reason you're saying, because the Warriors look like they're coming up, and they may be a title threat this year. Well, this would be great. This would be fun. He will ruin it. You're right. You're exactly right. He will ruin things. Kaz is saying W, super fan Mo. That's right. Yeah, she's awesome. She's so awesome. Played again. Sue's here. Y'all check out Sue's YouTube channel. She listens to videos and listens and reacts to them with her friends and does all kinds of little music history and tidbits and facts. Man, Sue, your channel's so awesome. I watched an old clip of yours yesterday. I watched you watch Mr. Crowley live, Ozzy Osbourne. That's such a good song. And Ozzy is a character, Sue. Totally a character. I mean, that's why I love him so much. And live, he's crazy. He's like, he's making his faces and creeping around and like, Mr. Crowley. Ba-na-na. Oh, man, so good. I love that you appreciated the virtuoso of Randy Rhoads. Man, what a great guitarist he was. And then we lost him so young in life. He was so good. But yeah, that song with the organ, with the guitar, dun, 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 dun. I'm an old metalhead, and I love it when you do stuff that's a little bit out of your normal zone as far as like what you like to listen to on your channel. But y'all play it again, Sue. Give it a follow, join the channel, and like and comment, and do all that stuff for our YouTube channel for our great Raptor Freak friend, Sue. Sue's a day oneer who's been watching my channel since the very beginning of the 3 years. And I appreciate you so much, Sue. Yeah, Mr. Crowley. It makes you believe he actually did bite a bat's head off. I mean, the man's crazy. She's saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. I hope everyone is having a great weekend. Yeah, so it's been all right. It's very cold out here in the central Ontario that I'm at right now. But it is what it is. It's winter. It's December. It's supposed to be. Fiercey saying hi to Sue. I love to see it. Hi, Fiercey. Fiercey saying, ever since Chris missed a defensive assignment when we saw Darko pissed on live TV, his minutes have been cut. Yeah, it's not just that, though. It's also the fact that these guys got healthy, Kelly specifically. Kelly Olynyk has taken Chris's minutes. In some ways, Kelly Olynyk is a much better passer as a big man. And that's the main reason right there. I mean, Chris, yeah, he missed a defensive assignment. We saw Darko go crazy on him. Yeah, near the end there. But it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. And, I thought maybe we'd see him back in the lineup when Scott got out. But no, it wasn't the case. He's still getting DMPs since. We'll have to see. In some ways, whatever's going to happen with Chris is going to happen with Chris. I love him. You'll always be a great Raptor. And you've got those years served, Chris. You'll be a great alumni, and I will do a share of the Love Club in your retirement at some point later on afterwards in honor of you, just like I'm doing for Jose Calderon today. That's right. That's right. He'll always be a real one for us. Sue's saying, I would feel sad if Chris left us, but you make some great points, Lex. Yeah, in some ways we can't afford to hold a roster spot and a salary on our salary cap for a player that is not a jigsaw puzzle piece that fits in the picture of the whole thing that Darko sees. In some ways, we really did have to do some tough letting go in the last year or so. Well, maybe the last one we need to let go of is this guy. It's not Pirtle. Pirtle fits. Pirtle is perfect in Darko's system. And a lot of people equate Boucher and Pirtle as two players that need to be moved from the Raptors. But no, Jakob is not. But I could see Chris. We said goodbye to Anunoby. We said goodbye to Siakam and Fred, too. So it may just be it's the natural time of change and it's just how it is. Because Chris is making like around 10, 12 million, and that is a good little chunk for a rotational piece. And if he's not in the rotation, well, that's what I'm saying. Wayne said Chris has value. He would be great with the Celtics as a shooter. God forbid. Don't see anyone we want, but a deal is always possible. God forbid that. Oh, Wayne, you don't say things like that. Oh, that's bad. I want to kind of take a couple dunks from you for that one. No. I don't know. There's probably quite a few teams that he would fit in pretty good for what they want to do. And there may be a market for him more than we think. There really may be than we possibly think. He's, the great thing is Chris got to play so much at the beginning of the season. He really got to show what he gives to a team. So that is out there. It's not like people would say, well, I don't know. Chris has not played in so long. I don't know how good he is. No, people have seen him this year, and they've seen him play at a very high level. So he does have high trade value right now. He does. Kareem saying, would you guys be in acceptance if Koloko gets cut and we are able to retain him? I think our development would bring his game to another level. Do you think Masai and Bobby would bring him back? Never say never. The NBA is a very kind of like roundabout kind of place. Some players will play for the same team in 3 different stints throughout their career. So, it's fine. I think he's in good standing with us. I think that in some ways it would be good for Masai because it would be a reclamation of his own projects. In some ways he got it kind of snaked from him. And if he was able to reacquire him and do something the Lakers weren't able to do this year with him, that would look really good for our organization, and it'd probably be very personally satisfying for Masai Ujiri also. So I would say, yeah, this could very well be in the cards if this is actually able to happen as far as the Lakers do cut him, and we all of a sudden say, yeah, you know what, you want to retry things again here? Because we will try again. We'll have to see. In some ways, I'm not holding my breath on this. And also, it's already kind of shown that Koloko has no allegiance or loyalty to us. So in some ways, we don't have to do this if we don't want to. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I would say never. And I would be open to it because I know Koloko's that kind of player. But it may be that in some ways Koloko's in trouble with his NBA career, that he is not going to make it in the NBA because of the very sad blood clot issue he's had has really screwed him up at the very important pivotal time of the starting of his career. His rookie year, and then the next year, nothing. And this development time is so crucial, especially for a big man, that if you're out on the shelf, well, it's really hard to catch back up. And it could be in some ways he's already too late. And that in some ways his career is in trouble already right now. That's right. Sue's saying, what area are you going to sit in for the 905 game on the 19th, Lex? I will join you guys. I want to sit courtside, Sue. No lie. I don't think the courtside seats are that expensive. And in some ways, I want to take the experience of being at a courtside game. Since going to the Raptors game and sitting courtside is not economically feasible, but going to the 905 and sitting at courtside could very well be. So I'd like to sit somewhere very close to the court, if not right at courtside, sitting right on the court. So I don't know how much that would cost exactly. It may be kind of crazy. So we'll see, somewhere in between there. But I do want to be as close as possible. And to the point where we are seeing Shamshe right up close. And I believe the game's the 18th, just so you know, Sue. I think it's January the 18th. It's either 18th or 19th. Valley Suns. It's a Sunday. That's what I know. It's a Sunday. Yeah. Fiercely saying, I'm in for Koloko coming back. Okay. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what's up. And Cass got the mic because I was singing some Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, yeah. Flying high again. Oh, man. Yeah, I love it. Just a shot in the dark, one step away from you. Bucket the moon. Oh, I'm on an Aussie tip today. Let's see. Wayne saying, my 2 cents is LeBron's trying to repeat the Olympics vibes with Steph. He thinks it's possible. It's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. They were hanging out with each other all summer at Paris, and they were like, man, it's so fun. It'd be so fun to play with each other. Yeah, LeBron, you've always wanted to play with other really great players to try and get championships. That's just been your MO this whole freaking time. Whether it's Kyrie Irving, whether it's Bosch and Wade, whether it's AD, it doesn't matter. You always need somebody else to prop you up. So yeah, you're gonna go and get Chef Curry to prop you up now at this point in your career. Okay, it's just following the same script you've been following a long time now. Yeah, it's totally why. That in some ways there was a lot of media talking about this during the summer, saying, "Wouldn't it be cool if LeBron and Steph got the hookup finally in the NBA and play as teammates? Wouldn't that be so cool?" I don't think that's that cool. That's like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker fighting the Emperor together. I mean, in some ways that makes sense, but in some ways it's stupid too, because they were the enemies against each other for so long, taking championships from each other with Cleveland and Golden State, and Miami. Come on now, joining the enemy. That's right. Let's see. Stargate saying unless he fires Mr. Adele as his agent, he ain't coming back here. Mr. Adele? Oh, you mean Rich Paul? I don't know if that's true though. Stargate. I mean, I don't know if that's true, because I think if Christian had the choice of going back to Cameroon and going home and never having an NBA career or playing for the Raptors again, I think he'd take the Raptors just because that's a foot in the door still. We'll have to see. Maybe if LeBron does sell out the Lakers, then he takes off to the Warriors with his son because it's a package deal. That's going to be the craziest thing. Is like seeing the deal and how they incorporate Bronny James into it will be hilarious. But it could very well be the Lakers are like, well, this was Rich Paul and Clutch's pet project, Coloco. We're cutting him. And that we did this for LeBron. Now he's gone. We're going to cut him. That could happen. That could happen that way. I mean, Coloco got cut when Siakam got traded. It's kind of the same thing. Let's see. Cass in 19th. It is the 19th? Okay. January 19th is the right date. I wasn't sure if it's 19th or 18th. You know what it is? I'm getting December the 8th confused with it because the first game we went to this past week was on the 8th. Last Sunday. That's what it is. So the 19th. Perfect. Cass, Lex, I just checked, and it's around 100 to 125 for courtside each ticket. See, I do that just for the experience. I don't know if anybody else will want to pay that amount, but I would do that just for that experience once. And the other thing is that game's special. That will be the first time ever that the Phoenix Suns, brand new G League team that just started this year, comes to Canada and plays in our arena for the very first time ever. So Valley Suns are very, very new, and it'd be kind of cool to be at the first Valley Suns game in Mississauga. And yeah, I would love to go on that. I would go on that ticket. I'm crazy. I mean, I already paid that amount to go and sit in the 100 levels at the Scotiabank Arena. Well, sitting at courtside, and think about it. It could be around that time that we're getting the full-fledged like J Rook experience with Shed, Battle, Mobo, Walter, and Shamshay, Lawson. All of them being there. So it really is like you get up close and you get to see Prince Shamshay, y'all. At least Prince Shamshay for sure. He'll be there. Yeah. Yeah. Stargate saying, Luke, join me and together we will defeat the Emperor and rule the galaxy as father and son. I mean, I want to see this. I'm daring them to do this. Go ahead. Send it to Golden State Lakers. Do it, Steve Kerr, and see the stupidness that sabotages your season for the rest of the year. Seriously, the Bron and Bronny show in Golden State. That sounds fun. Let's do it. All right. Let's do the classic card real quick. This is not a card that I can do. Why is this card in here? Actually, it's kind of a funny card. This isn't the classic card, but we'll look at it real quick just for fun. It's a card with Bernard King on it. It's a Bernard King all-star card. I guess I could have done it. It's got Chris Mullin in it, but it's also got, is that Scottie Pippen? No, that's David Robinson. David Robinson getting an elbow to the face on this card. Yeah, I guess I could have done this Bernard King all-star game card, but it's too many people in the picture. And I thought it was a two-person card at first, but no, it isn't. It's a Bernard King putting an elbow in David Robinson's face card. All right, that's not the classic card, guys. That was just me looking at it real quick. Let's see. Who's this? Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, this works. All right, y'all. Classic card of the day. First person to write in the full name answer of the classic card gets the point. Who is this, guys? I think this is too easy. We talked about this guy just yesterday, actually. We were comparing him to one of our young rookies. And we were saying this guy, if our rookie can be like this guy, that might be pretty good. If he ends up like this. Jaden Ivey is not right, Fiercey. It is the right team, but it is not Jaden Ivey. No, it is not. That is right. Stargate's got it. It is beef stew. That is the beef stew, Isaiah Stewart. And we were talking about if Jonathan Mobo could become more like an enforcer like Isaiah Stewart, That might be pretty good. Although, in some ways it's a personality thing. I was thinking about it more. I was like, Jonathan Mobo is more likely to be like Naz Reid than Isaiah Stewart, because in some ways Isaiah Stewart is who he is by his DNA. He's just this dude. You come like that, like Oakley. You come like that. And in some ways, Jonathan's too nice a guy in his personality to be like Beef Stew as an enforcer. I think that's at least how I feel about it. So yeah, Beef Stew is the card of the day, guys. And that's kind of timely and weird that we got Beef Stew, seeing as we talked about him just yesterday on there. So it's going to be Stargate getting the classic card of the day. Let me put it in. It's not a hard card, so it's only 100 points. But yeah, good job, Stargate. I don't see you on the classic card very much. So this is good. This is good. Oh, wait. Wow. I'm writing that in the wrong place. Isaiah Stewart, Beef Stew. And Stargate is the recipient of 100 points. Thank you, David, for updating our score totals yesterday and noticing that Carlo has been going crazy recently with getting the classic card for the last 4 out of the 4 days this week. He got the classic card. Crazy good. Crazy good. Yeah, Smooth saying at Kareem, Lakers want to cut him? Really? If so, yes, bring him back. Talking about Koloko? We'll have to see. I'm all about it, but where's his place on the team also? Do we cut a two-way and make him a two-way, or do we just put him on the 905? I don't know. See, it may be a long shot, and it could very well be that Koloko doesn't want to circle back, like y'all like whatchamacallit, like who said that he wouldn't come back because of Mr. Adele. I think that was Stargate that said that. Yeah, Mr. Adele won't let him come back. It could very well be on his list. New York, Miami, and other teams are higher on the list for Koloko to try and go to after LA, is what I could see. Yeah, is what I could see. You're saying that you spelled it wrong? Give it to Andrew? I don't think you did. I don't think – because you didn't put an R at the end? I don't care. You're close enough. You wrote it in there. You wrote Isaiah Stewart. You spelled Isaiah right with the double A at least. So, yeah, no, don't worry about it, Stargate. You got in there fast. You got it. I'm not going to take it away from him. It's all right. All right, let's see. Almost at 2 hours, so we'll finish up the stream. Let me just see if there's stuff I forgot. There is a birthday today, guys, and it's for a guy who only played for the Raptors for 2 games. That's it. He played 2 games for the Raptors in 2017. His name is Nigel Hayes. I don't even know if y'all will remember Nigel Hayes. He played 6 minutes altogether in Raptors history in 2017 when DeMar was still on our team. Nigel Hayes, happy birthday to you, sir. He is 30 years old today, guys. Happy 30th birthday to Nigel Hayes, former Raptor. Nobody knows who that is. I didn't know who it was. I saw that. I was like, Nigel Hayes? I've never heard of that name. And he was like, oh, wait, he is on the Raptors. He was on the Raptors for a very, very brief moment. So, yeah, we go that deep. We're saying happy birthday to Nigel Hayes. I think a lot of Raptors fans don't even know who the hell that is. I mean, seriously, crazy. All right, once again, y'all, we're celebrating Jose Calderon today. Great Raptor, 8 years of excellence on the Raptors, a guy who was so steady for us, a real one, a guy that showed up as a professional every single night, the 8 years he played for us, over 500 games, and gave his best in the Raptors jersey. In some ways, he's the epitome of what a Raptors alumni and Raptors legend should be, Jose Calderon. Yeah, he's on the list of our all-time list and a lot of different stuff. He's up there on assists. He's up there on percentages for shooting. He's up there on assist-to-turnover ratios as one of the greats in our franchise history. We love you, Jose. I wish you all the best health and luck and happiness in your life, day in and day out, going forward in all kinds of aspects. Always, my guy. We love you so much. So there you go. Our great Spanish legend, Jose Calderon. 905, you disappoint me. You are so embarrassing in some ways. Yeah, Jeffrey Doughton Jr., I hope you feel better now. You absolutely trounced our team badly last night. Jeffrey Doughton Jr. out shooting the Raptors 905 single-handedly by himself last night. Yeah, work on some stuff, y'all. Please get it together, Andrew Jones, and get that team right. Cass, thank you. W Stream, thank you, guys. I appreciate everybody. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, join, and I'll be back tomorrow with a Sunday report. We're going to be talking about something heavy. I'm not sure what this topic will be, but it'll be a Sunday special report, 60-minute style, where I talk about something that's in the news that has to do with the Raptors of the NBA that's going on. Maybe it'll be about this. No, I don't want to talk about the lawsuit anymore.
There's more bullshit going on right now with James Dolan crying and whining that the NBA is not paying attention to his stupid-ass frivolous lawsuit against the Raptors and saying, oh, that they're not doing anything about this. And what are they going to do about this? I hate the Raptors. I hate Larry Tenenbaum so much that we're coming at him. And we're going to try and get him and all this stupid stuff. Whatever. Get over yourself, James Dolan. There is some lawsuit stuff going on right now. That's right. It's like DZ saying Isaiah Stewart. Yeah, you're a little late. You're a little late, but you got to hit that live button, my guy. All right, let's go. Have a great weekend, everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow on the Sunday Report, 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. And also, we're going to have a preview for the 9:05 against the Maine Celtics midday game around 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, just so y'all know. Let's go to the 9:05 game on January the 19th, y'all.